Happy Sunday. Good afternoon. I hope everybody who ends up tuning in has an excellent day. Usually how these things go, first couple minutes are me talking to myself while people file in. I'm hoping that the audio is coming through good. I will check that as soon as I can. We have the Pockets. She is getting set up to join me as well.
I did not expect the chair to get stuck under the bar.
Shiloh is still asleep.
I mean, in a coma.
Yes, in a coma.
She was up very late. Or early.
Or early. I'll go ahead and I'll take the link and post it into the Discord, so that way people are able to find me and to know that I am live. How are you doing this morning, honey? How did you sleep? Or this afternoon?
Good, thank you. With my eyes shut, I know that much.
Well, I mean, that's always a good thing.
Wait, which time are you talking that I got up?
All times.
The first time or the
Every
second
time. Every time that you got up.
Well,
Was it great every time?
It was the first time, yes. I really had to pee. I did not know that until I turned off your alarm. And then I took my meds and I went back to sleep, and then I woke up, what, 15, 20 minutes ago?
Mm-hmm. Hello, dog lover. Afternoon. It is noon now. Daylight savings time is 12:02. Hello, Dexter. How are you? The bean water. It is the bean water. It is the bean water of the life blood of the gods.
I was like, wait a minute.
And I'm gonna have to go get more because apparently my cup is gone. But I'll wait a couple minutes. Let me do that for you.
We need more to them? Talking about tobacco. We're in our last little bit, and he can roll a cigarette out of anything.
I've been rolling cigarettes for like 20 years.
it gets down to the dust, and mine looks like a pregnant caterpillar.
Hello, Frank. Happy Sunday afternoon to you.
Hey, Frankie.
Hope you're doing well. Hope you don't mind being called Frankie. Apparently,
I always call him Frankie.
That's the first time I've ever heard you call him Frankie.
When I text him a lot, I say, "Hi, Frankie."
Interesting.
My grandfather's name was Frank Knight.
Dog lover. Yeah, we all lost an hour. Whether you count it as losing an hour of sleep or you count it as losing an hour of your day.
I was totally confused when I woke up and I had to hit my husband's alarm at 6:16.
Because it was
like, I'm like
5:16.
No, it said 6:16.
I know that. It's because of daylight savings time.
Wait a minute. There is something really fucking off here. And so I was very happy for you to wake up and be like, because I thought I broke your clock. Yeah,
because it went off an hour later, you thought it was broken?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's normally what happens. It downgrades. Except for microwaves. They just stop working for me altogether.
That's usually... I've smashed an alarm clock to pieces before, and the thing still worked just fine.
I can work your
I was having a bad morning.
My dad had the same one.
I'll never forget that, man. It was me and Pico working construction. My buddy Doug, who is, God rest his soul, he's no longer with us. We woke up one morning to go to work. We were working construction, and just like every day, it's very hard work. We'd go out and have a couple drinks at night. Just waking up to that alarm every morning. One day I just lost my shit, and I woke up and started swinging the thing by the cord and just smashed the hell out of it. And he's like, Minus, I paid for that. I was like, oh yeah, sorry about that, Pico. I will get you a new one. Good times.
I used to have a Charlotte
Hey, Edge,
Hornets.
Evil Outcast, how are you?
O'clock.
Happy Sunday to you.
It wasn't a cord one, it was a twist one, but it was all brass, and inside it had the Charlotte Hornets logo and the dinger thingy. It was the bee. I ended up breaking that because I didn't want to hear it anymore.
Pico and I actually went out and we got a CD player alarm clock after that. He chipped in so we could get something a little better that wasn't a freaking annoying freaking alarm. So we started waking up to music every day, which was good. Wake up to like Green Day or something with high energy. But then I started associating whatever, even if I loved it, like Green Day. I started to associate it with a morning alarm to going to work. And then I'd hear those songs throughout the day, and it would remind me of the alarm. And I'd be like, I hate this song! So I was like, we have to find something that's high energy, upbeat, and something we are not going to miss. So no lie, we went to this, like, I don't know, like some hand-me-down, was like a Family Dollar type thing where they had CDs, but they were like really cheap. And we got a polka CD with like this real high energy polka music. And I know there's like no chance that I'm ever like gonna end up enjoying polka music and just like listening. It's just not
polka. Sorry.
Not who I am.
Planes and automobiles just went through my head.
When I first met Pockets, she actually came over to our house, and the first night that she was there, when I had to go to work the next morning.
What the fuck am I overfeeding my eyes to polka music
What
for?
the fuck is this? You guys wake up to polka music?
I can't do
There was
this.
this really long story behind it.
Yeah,
But
and I thought, I can't do this. He started spending nights at my dad's.
if you can imagine two construction guys waking up hungover, 5:30 in the morning, scrambling to get dressed because the polka music just starts real loud. Like, looking back, it must have seemed absolutely ridiculous, but there was a very plausible backstory to it behind it.
I was like, what the fuck? Why am I hearing polka music? Do I need a change in medication?
I mean, really, it's a pretty good idea. Like, if you don't want to wake up to an alarm, wake up to music, but you don't want to wake up to something that you like. So, like, something that, you know, that you're not going to end up enjoying down the road.
See, when I was a kid, I knew when my dad got up because he had the same alarm as you, basically. But he always had talk radio on. So as soon as I heard the talk radio on, I'm like, oh.
Talk radio. Now, again, Pockets can attest to this, too.
My dad used to, listen to talk radio all
My
the
father,
time.
I worked construction with my father for, I don't know, over a decade.
I lived with my dad.
And I understand that. This is a very different kind of situation. Okay? So I used to work with my father construction. So again, I'd get up very early with my father in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, and we'd go get coffee and stuff like that. And then he would also be my ride back to where we were staying, because at the time I didn't have my own car. I worked for him for years, actually, and quite a few of those years I didn't have a car. And even when I did, he was still my ride. It was just way cheaper on gas. But my father's deaf, basically in one ear, and he can't really hear. And he really likes talk radio, like Rush Limbaugh and stuff like that. So he always listens to it on the AM, obviously, because it's on AM radio. And around here, AM doesn't come in very, very good. And he would leave it on. Like, so he would turn it up loud. And there'd be times we'd get gas at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I hadn't even had a cup of coffee yet. And he'd get out of the truck to go fill the gas. He'd leave the door open in the middle of the winter so he could still hear the radio. He'd turn the radio up super loud. And I just couldn't get away from it. So every day to work and back from work was like listening to this all the way to work and all the way back turned up on super high volume, and it was absolutely terrible. It was quite the ordeal. It was actually an example. I was working with my cousin, and my cousin's like, you know what it's like working with your dad? And he held up a bag of chips, and he started rattling it in my ear while I was talking. I was like, oh my God, you're totally right. So, yeah, we do things to get back and forth to what we got to do and whatnot, but it looks much better. Yes. Pockets' hat was covered in cat hair.
I sleep in it.
It literally needed to be groomed.
My Venom hat that he got me from Family Dollar. I love it. I do. And if I really like something, I live in it. Like my Locust Lake hoodie, which is not on me right now because I'm wearing my Tigger hoodie or Tigger sweatshirt that I have not found in years. And I mean, you should see it. My sleeves are all frayed.
Hey Lucas, how are you? Happy Sunday afternoon. I'm gonna leave the chat here real quick just to go refill my coffee cup, and I'm going to leave it in my wife's capable hands. I will return very quickly.
Yeah, so very happy that I can wear my hat now out in public without my husband telling me to turn it around.
It just said better like that.
He told me, because before I washed it off, he was like, turn it around the other way. Flip it around. And for some reason, we have a whole flock of mallard ducks in the supermarket parking lot. Well, that are now gravitating over toward the CVS parking lot, but still same parking lot. And they have not moved all winter long. Well, maybe now that it snowed a little bit, but still. I mean, animal control wasn't even picking them up. Ugh. And I'm getting closer. There we go. Well, he has all this stuff around his desk, so it's kind of difficult. Ooh. Yeah, I'm surprised Shiloh is still asleep.
I'm not. She inherited a headset.
Yeah, that's true. She's very happy with her new headset. She's very happy to chat, do the VR chat. So I still have my headset. She has her father's old headset. He's got the new one. Everybody is happy in the house with their virtual reality.
Are you?
Yeah, as soon as my shoulder fixes itself again, I'm gonna go back on Beat Saber. That's like my one big workout of the day.
Your big workout is Beat Saber?
Well, yeah, I can't do push-ups right now.
Well, obviously.
That's not because of my shoulder. I can't do push-ups. I can do some curls.
And you can only do some VR.
Yeah. The first day after Beat Saber, I probably will need Tylenol.
You've tried VR chat, that didn't work out too well. You tried snowboarding, I had to hang on to you.
Yeah, he had to hang on to me while I tried snowboarding, because I almost fell over. So I'm just like, grab onto the back of my pants and don't let me fall.
Headset.
With his headset on, which actually was more comfortable than mine. More balanced.
It's because I have the battery.
And I have a tiny head. Like, I have kids' glasses frames because I have a small face. And the regular headset hurts after like 10 minutes. Especially with one wearing glasses.
You have the glasses spacer in it.
Yeah, I know, but it's still. And right now, he doesn't know how I can even see out of them because they're separating. The transition from the regular glass is separating.
I think you'd like the Quest 2. It's a little bit lighter.
It looks lighter.
It's a little bit lighter. What?
It's also white. So it definitely is lighter.
No, not lighter in color. Ha ha ha. Very funny. So Pockets. Shiloh now has her own Oculus account. She has, obviously I got her VR chat in Rec Room. I downloaded that for her. I told her to go back and change it, and she can. I can always show her how to do it. It's not a problem.
That was funny. I put in my real date of birth.
And I also got her Zenith, which is that VR MMO RPG. So we can kind of like go on adventures together now. So I'm kind of waiting for her to get into that. Oh, I keep forgetting I got it because she keeps playing around in VR chat.
She likes VR chat.
I know she likes VR chat, but damn it. I also picked up Resident Evil 4 in VR. I know some of you were there for that live stream yesterday on my side channel. But if you weren't, I am not a Resident Evil guy. I'm very much a Resident Evil noob. Like, I didn't even know what to do with the plants, like the green plants. Like, obviously, those are like a staple in the series. And I had to figure out, you combine them with like the red plants and the yellow plants. And
my God. He got scared of a snake.
Yeah, that was after the stream.
Like sissy girl.
I did. I belted out a loud scream last night.
It was hilarious.
I wasn't on stream. It was after the premiere. I went back on my headset just to play a little bit more. No one told me that there's snakes in that game. I've never played any of the Resident Evil games, meaning I've never played Resident Evil 4. So Resident Evil 4 in VR is my very first experience with the game. And I don't know what to expect at all. Zombies, I'm prepared for. What I'm not prepared for is to open up a loot crate and find a pit viper sitting in there. And if I don't react to it or kill it in 2 seconds, the thing leaps out at me and bites me. That was absolutely terrifying. Terrifying. I had no idea what to expect. I'm terrified of snakes. That was scary. And right now I'm on the boat section where the giant megalodon-sized crocodile thing is towing me around from like the bottom of this lake, and I can't see the bottom, and it's fucking scary in VR. So I had to take a break, and I went back to Zenith for a bit. No one said that there was snakes. I was not expecting snakes. I'm phobic of snakes, so like.
So is his cousin
and if I know there's snakes, like that's fine. Like I'll muscle through it. But
no,
like,
he doesn't. He went one time.
I'm talking about in VR when it's not real.
Yeah, but when you went to get the boat out.
But if I'm not expecting it, like in a virtual
snake.
reality setting, like I was prepared, mentally prepared for zombies. It's not mentally prepared for jumping pit vipers.
He's so stupid. Honey, there's a snake. There's a snake.
Yeah, I know. I don't like
Joanne's
snakes.
the same way.
I'm terrified of snakes.
In the morning,
snakes and heights. And I can do heights in VR. Again, it's something I've had to work up to and get better at. Yeah, exactly. Why did it? There were big spiders, and I'm not a big fan of spiders either. And those giant spiders were kind of also pretty creepy. But again, I can handle spiders. Snakes, I will never open up a loot crate again without a pistol in my other hand. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Nope. And it's happened 2 more times now in that level. I know it's probably maybe only in the swamp level. I don't care. I'll probably play the rest of the game opening loot crates with a knife in one hand and a pistol in the other, just in case. Last night I shot a plant because I broke into the loot crate and there was something green sitting in there and I didn't want to wait, and so I shot the plant. And I was like, oh, it's a plant, it's not a snake. But, yeah. Resident Evil 4 in VR is a lot of fun, I will say that. I don't have anything to compare it to. I wish I could say, like, the controls are all updated and everything feels great, and things aren't. I have been watching some comparison videos, like on YouTube, so I can kind of get like an idea of the changes between the console releases and the VR release. So from what I can tell, there are a lot of really awesome updates because of the translation over to VR. Mainly controls, stiff movement, and stuff like that, I guess. I don't know. I have no experience with those things. But everything in VR is very intuitive. So. I'm not a fan of spiders. Don't get me wrong. Like they're cool if they're like over there. But like spiders, especially big black dock spiders, they're fucking creepy for sure. Like I will squish a spider. I will shake a spider off my hand and maybe even scream. But I will not react to a spider like I do a snake.
Yeah, and we don't kill the spiders that are in the house.
Phobic around snakes. If there's a snake, I will freeze. I have nothing. I can't. It's not that I it's a choice to just be paralyzed. I just am paralyzed. I am absolutely terrified of snakes. Terrified.
You know, all the ways that character seems to go back to the Explorer.
That's a definitive version, to be honest. The controls. That's cool. Like I said, I've never played it on any of the console releases. I've seen the Resident Evil games. I've always been a Nintendo fan. They started off with PlayStation. And I was watching a video last night, and it did kind of nail, I think, why I wasn't all that big of a fan of the Resident Evil games. It's when 4 came out, I didn't want to start with 4. And that's why I was like, cool, Resident Evil 4 is on the GameCube. But I don't want to start with 4. And I know that other ones have come to the Nintendo consoles, but by the time that those ended up getting ported over, I had already moved on to other things. People that were into Resident Evil were already really into Resident Evil. And going back to play some of the older games now, they do feel, a little bit dated. Out of all the Resident Evil games I've ever seen bits and pieces of, Resident Evil 4 is the one I liked the most. It just looked awesome. That was a cool looking Resident Evil game. That was a cool looking video game, period. The other one still looked interesting to me, but this one seemed a lot more fast paced and action oriented. But again, I didn't want to get into it with the 4th entry in the series, so I've always felt a little bit self-blocked from getting into the Resident Evils. I know nearly nothing about the games. And I know a little bit about the movies. I've seen the movies. I'm not a huge fan.
You've seen all the movies because of me.
I
like the Resident Evil movies.
I've seen the movies, at least the ones that were out before I met you. I've seen them all. I didn't like the first one. I watched the second one. I watched the third one, which was terrible. I would have watched them all anyway, just because I was interested to see where the series is going. But I don't really know a whole lot about the lore of the games. So, again, always felt a little bit barred to entry. But then I found out, obviously you don't need to know the games before it.
Pardon my dying.
And know the games before it. And it came to VR. It just seemed like a really cool looking VR experience. And honestly, I don't even now, like now I do, but when I bought it, like I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. I hoped I'd like it. I really want to get into a Resident Evil game, but I wasn't sure. Like I've never actually played one before. But at least in VR, like it's it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. Yes, the Resident Evil movies are a series. I think there's 6 or 7 of them.
I'm watching.
Hey, Devane, how are you?
Hey, D.
Happy Sunday afternoon.
No. Ow.
No dying pockets. She's not actually dying. She's
I'm smoking
just
a bowl.
coughing. I am not. I'm having a cup of coffee and a cigarette. Okay. I'm still not having a cup of coffee and a cigarette.
I'm glad I have to make my tea.
Makes sense. Different strokes and all that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Really enjoying Resident Evil 4 in VR. Like I said, no cross comparison, but
when I saw the older versions of Resident Evil, they actually spooked me. I couldn't watch them. I couldn't play them. Same thing for Warlock on Super Nintendo. The music just like scared me, and I was like, okay, we have to go.
That
and
I
return
find
this, Dad.
funny.
I cannot play this. And he's like, why? I'm like, because it scares me. And he just like laughed the whole way to the store.
I got one of those SNES minis. Cracked the kernel on it so I could add a bunch of games. And Warlock was one of the games that I added because she told me that. I'd never played the Warlock Super Nintendo game before. Resident Evil, I guess I can kind of understand how someone could get creeped out by that.
It was the music.
But
And
Warlock,
I was a kid.
I put that on and I'm playing like through the first level and I'm like,
Here we go.
what is so terrifying about this game? Shiloh finds it hilarious.
It's the music.
Hey Fuzzy, how are you? I'm sorry that you had to administer some first aid, dude. Hope everything's going okay. Not a whole lot.
Cut off a finger, did you?
Some chillin', coffee talk. Been talking about VR, Resident Evil, stuff like that.
Oh, I have decaf too. You know, if you take well, you can take any instant coffee. I prefer decaf. Get yourself some Nesquik. You're still gonna need sugar and dry creamer, and mix that all together, and you have a very happy coffee drink.
I have not I have not tried Persistence. Unfortunately, I only have standalone VR. I don't have like Steam VR. I can't plug my headset into a computer because I don't have a computer that's powerful enough to run VR.
It's too antiquated.
So any of those like older games, any of the games like on Steam that you can like, you know, get for free or even buy, and you can use your Quest 2 for or your Quest or whatever, I can't. And I don't really want to spend the money for a computer right now that can run it. Maybe eventually, but not right now.
Maybe like with taxes.
So far, I'm pretty happy with the standalone experiences, and I really like the wireless thing. I like being able to walk around and spin around and not get tangled up in wires. And I know that there's rigs that you can do with pulleys and stuff like that. I've seen it. Cool looking stuff, but again, just not a huge rush to get into the Steam VR section. And the reason for that being is PCs are an accurate representation of what VR can be, but I don't think they're an accurate representation of current mainstream VR. And the reason why that is I can go out and get a computer right now that plays VR games. But in the next week, they're going to come out with another game that you can only run at optimal proficiency on an even better computer, because the minute you get a computer or you build one, they say that within the next 60 seconds, it's already obsolete, because that's how fast technology grows. So to get into PC VR, it almost feels like a bottomless well of investment, because you'd always have to be upgrading that, where the current standard where most people are playing VR is through basically console type headsets like the Quest and the Quest 2. I feel that that's what needs to be pushed forward, so that's where my investment will be. Again, PC VR does look really freaking amazing, but to say like, yeah, I gotta do that because that's what VR is, I can't, because computers will always be getting more powerful, and there'll always be another tech demo or whatever that utilizes that new computer's processing power and hardware, and it will be impossible to keep up with the absolute latest innovations. But then again, now I'm also missing out on Skyrim, Minecraft.
What if we bring this to the computer,
Have them soup it up?
to the computer people, and to see how much it would cost to
Soup it up?
park? Yeah, basically.
We can check, but it's going to be expensive. It's not going to be cheap. Might even be better just going out and buying.
I'm saying comparing prices. If it's better to go out and buy a newer computer, than to
It
go
probably
buy a
would be,
computer.
if I was going to do that, put that kind of money into it, I would pay somebody to build me a computer. Have a custom built computer.
Erica's partner, whatever he is, does that.
Yeah, I know, and I would pay him. I'm just saying, I would pay him
Yeah.
to do that.
He would probably be paying minimal fee.
Well, the hardware, you still got to pay for the parts, and the parts for those aren't cheap, but it's cheaper, I know that, considerably if you build the computer yourself.
Peter,
And
that's his
if
name.
you know...
Pick your nose, Peter. That's his name.
That's a great name.
That's how I remember it.
There is a Sims type game in VR. Actually, there's a couple coming to the Oculus Quest, standalone.
The Sims?
It's like Sims. It's like a city simulator, not people simulator. Not yet. Again, not on standalone Oculus. I don't know about Steam. If you can connect the headset to Steam, then yeah, possibly. There's so much stuff on Steam, stuff you can buy, stuff that's free, stuff developers are working on, and they're just putting out free beta tests and stuff like that. There's so many titles that you can get through Steam and SideQuest, which I know is another app that I probably could download. And I did get the 256 gigabyte version of the Oculus Quest. That's what I did on Friday. I got a bonus from work, so I took a portion of it. A little bit more than I wanted to. I didn't expect that it was going to be what it was. Everything else I need to pay for is still going to get paid and stuff like that. That's the beauty of bonuses. But I ended up getting the 256 gigabyte version instead of the 128 gigabyte version because that was the only one that they had in stock. So it cost me an extra $100, which is fine though because I kind of wanted the extra storage. I downloaded.
This is like freaking Jerry Springer.
I downloaded every app that I've bought or downloaded for free or anything on my old Oculus headset, my old one that I gave to Shiloh. And that one was a 64 gigabyte headset.
Yep.
So in order to have games I wanted to play, or if a new game came out, I was constantly going in and deleting old apps. Well, I want this new game that just came out, but if I want to play this new game, I got to delete X amount of storage.
Right?
No, for not Oculus just came out with cloud storage. It didn't save that for a long time. So I was battling to try and keep stuff like MMOs. I can never delete those off my headset. But like Vader Immortal, well, I'll get the lightsabers and the awards again. That's fine. That's a story experience. So I'm like picking and choosing what I want on my headset and what I don't want on my headset. With this one, I've downloaded everything that I've had on my other headset all at once. It's all there. Plus, I've only used up half the storage. I still have like another 127 gigabytes of storage or something like that left. So it's kind of cool to have all of my apps in one spot. And I will admit, the blacks in this aren't, and the new headset, this kind of turned into a Quest 2 review. They're not as black because it doesn't use the OLED screens. I think I'm saying that correctly. I think I'm right about that. Anyways, the blacks on the Quest 1 were better than the blacks on the Quest 2. And that was one of the reasons I didn't want to switch over. Another was losing all my saves. Now they have the cloud storage thing, so I kept all my saves to every game, including Population 1. I thought I was going to lose it because Oculus said that they don't do a cloud save. But apparently, the people that do Population 1, they back everything up on their servers. So, kick ass. Didn't lose my Population 1 skins. But the Quest 2 definitely has a higher refresh rate. Things feel way, way smoother, like cruising down a mountain on a snowboard and stuff like that. The foveated rendering at the sides it's like almost non-existent. It's barely noticeable. And there's graphic changes. Like Zenith looks way better on the Quest 2 than it does on the Quest 1. And don't get me wrong, very happy with Zenith on the Quest 1. I put in a ton of hours on it so far on that Quest 1 headset. But there's no denying it. The Quest 2 headset it looks way better on that. Draw distance, graphics, extra textures and animations, physics to enemies. It just kind of goes on and on. So, cool things, good times.
Yay. Sorry, I just saw a guy got hit with a nail gun.
Who? Oh, on TV?
Yeah, and it was sticking out like that much. It was a roofing nail. Well, roofing nail, carpenter's nail, whatever you want to call it.
I mean, there might be. I'd have to look. I did take a little bit of a look at Spore. And it looks interesting, but they might have something similar to that in VR. Again, you probably would have better luck on Steam VR. But yeah, I would be pretty sure that you'd be able to find something in there. And yes, VR has come a long, long way. I've always wanted virtual reality. It has been a dream of mine since I was old enough to hold a controller in my hand. When I was 5 years old, I used to go down to the neighbor's house and play Super Mario Bros. 2 on their NES. And it'd just be so cool. Like, man, it'd be awesome if we could like go into a video game. And then Nintendo came out with the Virtua Boy, which was an absolute flop. And no, I did not buy it because I kind of saw the virtual reality that they were talking about, and everything was all red and black and vector lines, and
not fun.
It wasn't the virtual reality that I had imagined. So I did not get the Virtua Boy. And then I heard it made a lot of people sick and stuff like that. I did have a friend. Eventually, I met years later that when I met him, he did have a Virtua Boy and he did let me try it. And I got to kind of see what I was missing. And it was pretty cool, but I'm still kind of glad I didn't pick it up. And then when the Oculus, I think what was it, the Rift was the first Oculus headset? Whatever it was, I used to watch all kinds of YouTube videos of people doing Job Simulator and stuff like that. And again, it looked really cool, and you could tell that VR had come a long way from Virtua Boy to Job Simulator. But again, it's like it was the only thing I saw people playing, and I knew you needed a computer to do it, and this super expensive $600+ headset to do Job Simulator. Like, I already have a job. I don't want to jump into VR and play another job. So I held off. What sold me on VR was the Vader Immortal commercial. I don't know if I was watching YouTube or TV. It's probably YouTube because we don't actually get cable here. Well, we do, but I canceled it because all we ever watch is SpongeBob. So we have streaming services. So it was probably YouTube that I saw it on. Where the dude, like, he's got the two controllers held up like a lightsaber, and they glow blue like he's holding a lightsaber, and goes into the game and shows him kicking the shit out of droids, and he's got the headset on his face. And I was like, that's VR now? That's where VR is at? So that kind of made me get a headset and haven't looked back. VR has definitely come a very, very, very long way. No problem, Lucas. Be safe. Thank you very much for stopping in. I thank you for the compliment. I know that these live streams on Sundays can usually be a bit of a babble fest. But I'm glad that you enjoyed the topics. So thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, be safe out there, man. And thank you very much for stopping in. But VR, yeah, it really has come a very long way. It's pretty close to where I've always imagined it would be. And we're probably a step, maybe two away from like Ready Player One style VR. It's almost like the prototype for Ready Player One style VR is there. There are omnidirectional treadmills, there are haptic suits, and there are, giant metaverse applications like VR chat. So it's almost like the prototypes for that is really there. And Facebook's very much like IOI. Love that movie, by the way, Ready Player One. It's a good movie.
Yeah. Oh, she's got blood all over her hand.
Apparently that happens.
She should have just stabbed him and then taken the screwdriver right out. It would have taken less time for him to die. Oh, sorry. That's kind of dark for me. But that was the movie.
She's commenting on the movie she's watching.
Now he's convinced I'll poison him. I'll kill him by poisoning his food.
Maybe. Could happen.
What's the matter? I can't help that it's snowing. It's snowing.
She squeaks.
When
Cat's
you pick her up.
ridiculous. Yeah, I know. Exactly. The future is now. And VR, man, what a marketing nightmare it must be for VR, because you can't accurately describe it. It's something that you have to try to truly get. It's very, very hard to explain VR. So I'm glad I'm not someone that develops headsets, because it'd be wicked hard to sell them, because a lot of people just don't understand. One of the things I hear a lot when I tell people you should get a VR headset is they say, I don't have a big enough house. I need a bigger house.
Oh, come on.
I can promise you that you don't need to go out and spend a few $100,000 on a new house to play VR. That is not how VR is designed. The people that are making the headsets aren't like, yes, everybody that can afford $50,000 or more to upgrade their house or build an addition can get this VR headset for $300. Like, that's...
It never cost
It's the way it's set. And again, it's hard to explain. I was explaining to somebody who was in the stream today how the Guardian system works. How you're able to, like, when you do. I live in a trailer. I live in a mobile home. It's a 14 by 70. It's the largest kind of single wide that you can get.
Single wide you can get.
But it's a mobile home. It's a trailer. I don't have tons of space. My living room is okay. I got some space in here, and I have enough room to play VR because you don't need a lot of room. You have any empty space, something 4x4 would probably do just fine. And you draw a line on the ground, and it creates a border, and it disappears until you get close to it, then it shoots up again, so it tells you don't go through this fencing because you're going to go out of your area. And then if you do, the pass-through cameras on the headset that track your controllers, if you step out of the boundary, your vision closes out of whatever you're in and goes right through the pass-through cameras, so you can see your house through the cameras in black and white. It's neat. You don't need a lot of room to play. You don't. Another thing I hear from people about VR is, I can't play, it makes me sick. VR gives me headaches. VR makes me throw up. A lot of people, when they start playing VR, it's a lot like being on a boat. It's a lot like being on a boat. Now, if you've been on a boat your whole life, you love it, right? You love being on a boat. But people that usually don't go boating or haven't, some of those people get on a boat and they get really bad seasickness. And if they don't get off the boat in a certain amount of time, like let's say they're stuck, they're on a cruise and the stabilizers break. This has actually happened to me before. I don't get seasick, but there are a lot of people on the cruise ship that did. Let's say the stabilizers break and you're stuck at sea for a week or 4 days. You're gonna be miserable. And you're probably going to swear off of boats for the rest of your life because you had such a terrible experience, because being seasick is no fun at all. But if you're able to do it in bursts, eventually you build up what's called sea legs, and you can be on a boat and it doesn't bother you. But if you have that initial first experience where you're trapped and you get terribly seasick and you can't get away from it, you might swear off of boats for the rest of your life. But if you can do it in bursts, you can build up, and you might have a great time and really enjoy all the fun that boating brings with it. VR is exactly the same. People put on a VR headset and they'll go and they'll do all these crazy apps. They'll go driving, they'll go flying planes, and they'll start to feel queasy and sick, but they'll leave the headset on and push through it because, it's just a game, I know, but you're giving yourself vertigo. So you take the headset off after a half an hour or 15 minutes even, and you're extremely sick and you have a headache, you swear off of VR and you say, I'm done with VR. I can't play it. It makes me sick. You did it the wrong way. Put the headset on and play for 5 minutes. Don't play crazy apps. Play Beat Saber, where you're standing in one spot and the things come to you. Play Space Pirate Trainer, where there is no movement with a stick. All the movements you do are movements with your body. That gets rid of the vertigo. Because vertigo is when your vision is telling your brain that your body is doing something, but your body's actually doing something else. It's like car sickness. Being in a car, your body is moving forward, but in your brain saying, look, I see us moving, but your body's actually sitting still. And that disconnect creates an imbalance in your ear, gives you vertigo, and makes you violently ill. It's the same exact thing for VR. So if you're moving with a stick or driving a car, your brain is telling your body that you're moving, but your body actually isn't moving, and it will give you vertigo. If you play a game where you're standing still, stuff is coming to you, you're not messing with that imbalance, and you're not going to get vertigo. And play in bursts. Play 5 minutes, then 10 minutes, and build that up till you're not sick anymore. Then play 15 minutes, and play that at 15 minutes till you're not sick anymore, and work up to it. Because VR is something that you can build up a tolerance to, just like being on a boat. Sea legs, VR legs are almost exactly the same. So if you are new to VR, first off, trust me, you have enough room. You do not need to upgrade your house to get a VR headset. Shiloh plays in her room sitting on her bed, and she is in a 8x8 room with a bed in it, so there's not a lot of room in there, and she has a headset and she plays no problem, and play in bursts. Don't jump into VR just thinking that you can just go anywhere and do anything. You can eventually, once your body is ready for it. You have to build up that tolerance first. The goggles really aren't as heavy as you'd think.
Nope.
Pockets says that it does hurt her face.
For me.
For her, she has a smaller face, and I think her head strap is probably not adjusted properly. They're about a pound. And again, when I play for an hour and a half, 2 hours, I'll take the headset off, and I've got like a little ring from the cushion that goes around my eyes, like a suction cup mark almost. That goes away. It doesn't hurt or sting or anything like that. It can ache a little bit. You can feel that the weight of it, but again,
but if you're sitting down and you're watching like big screen, you can kind of offset the balance by just holding it a little bit.
And again, it's also muscles. It's the same thing with VR legs. If the headset feels like it's hurting your neck or your head after 15 minutes, readjust the head strap. Obviously. Maybe put a counterbalance, like an extra battery pack on the back, like I do with mine.
Yeah,
that adds a little bit of weight, but it balances out the headset a little bit more. But again, do it in bursts, because it's just like with anything else, you're going to build up your neck muscles. And the more you do it, the stronger your muscles get, and the less it's not going to weigh. The headsets only weigh like 1.5 pounds to a pound.
And I never got sick while playing Beat Saber.
They are, hey Manny, how's it going? So yeah, the headsets are not heavy. You can feel the weight, 1 pound of pressure on your head. You do feel it after a while, but it's not like a painful weight. It's not like, oh man, I can't keep my head up anymore. Like, it's 1 pound. So it's really not that bad. And the Quest 2 is even lighter than the first Quest. So I think the Quest 1 was like 1.5 pounds. The Quest 2 is like 1 pound.
Yeah,
so,
well, it's much smaller too. So
it's not much. It's a little smaller. It's not a lot. A little bit smaller. No, my neck muscles have never gotten sore from playing VR. My legs get sore. My feet get sore. My arms get sore. I get tired before my neck does, because you're moving around. I don't have any thoughts on Real Housewives. Put that out there right now. I will be ending the stream probably about 10 minutes or so. So just wanted to go ahead and put that out there. If you guys have anything you want to go ahead and punch in, types it in now while you got the chance.
it's sad that I know that.
It ends the stream soon, precious.
I really want my extended edition box set.
But yes, if you are interested in VR and you don't have a VR headset, one, I can assure you VR has come leaps and bounds. Two, virtual reality and augmented reality combined is the future of technology. The way the internet changed things back in the 90s and the way cell phones changed things in the early 2000s and late 90s. Virtual reality and augmented reality will reshape everything about society as we know it. It's happening already, and it's going to be much more mainstream as we go forward, and things get less expensive and they get more comfortable, and This is the wave of the future. And 3, if you guys do get a VR headset, we can hang out. We can like go to, hang out at a bar like my buddy Somber and I do. Or we'll go play Population 1 together. Like, we can all hang out in VR. So get a headset, man. It's awesome. I fully condone you spending money on a virtual reality headset. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is hit and miss. I love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. I hate like half of them, especially the new one that just came out on Netflix. Scream series, again, hit and miss. I love the Screams. 1 and 4 were really good. 2 and 3 were kind of lame. And 5 kind of fell in between, better than 2 and 3, but not as good as 1 and 4. So, Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, don't have thoughts. Barely, I wouldn't even presume to make a judgment on either of those games because I'm a Nintendo guy, and I know Crash has come to the Nintendo Switch. I know Spyro has come to the Nintendo Switch, but again, I heard they're good games, but I've kind of moved on from the hype around them because I wasn't around or able to get those games when there was hype, and maybe I would play them in the future, but Resident Evil 4 in VR, Zenith VR, Bayonetta 3 is coming out this year, Breath of the Wild 2. I mean, I could keep going. So I would like to play them, but unfortunately there's, 1,000 other things right now that I kind of want to play more. Really can't wait for Bayonetta 3, by the way. I've been saving my personal holiday from work for 5 years. Waiting for that game to come out. When that game gets announced, it gets a release date, I am putting in for my personal holiday. I will be staying home and playing Bayonetta 3 all day long. All day. And it's better I do anyway, because I'm not going to do any work if I know I have the game sitting at home. Yep. It's not going to happen. So, Manny, thank you very much for stopping in. Very much hope you have a Hope you have a great day, and be safe, man. Alrighty. Well, I guess I won't drag out the ramble any longer. I will gonna go ahead and end the stream. It's been almost 55 minutes. It's been like 53 minutes. So we're just about at that hour mark. We got a huge snowstorm here yesterday, so we didn't really get a chance to go out and get anything that we really needed. So I gotta make sure I get that done today as well. So, got some errands to run. Probably should get dressed before I go do that. Just lounging around in my sweats and a hoodie.
I'm going in my sweats.
It is Sunday, so it's fine.
I'm going in my Tigger sweatshirt, but my sweats are gray, so they're going to look cute with my work boots anyway. But I'm wearing 2 pairs of pants. There's no way I'm changing out of 2 pairs of pants on such a cold day. Okay. I know, it probably sounds crazy to you all, but as soon as a flurry hits, I'm in my one-piece Carhartt.
And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and close out the stream. I absolutely love you guys. Thank you so much for stopping in today, sipping some coffee with me, and enjoying a bit of the afternoon. Hope everybody's had a great weekend. And make sure to stop in this coming Saturday. Confronting Evil, Season 1, Episode 7. Back in the Neighborhood premieres. So I really hope to see you there for that one. Trust me, I've already listened to it. It has come out really, really good. You will very much like this episode. Absolutely love you guys. Really hope to see you this weekend. And thank you for stopping in. TTFN. Bye-bye.